the best thing in your life. Way oh, way oh, oh. You got me singing way oh, way oh, oh. You look like a guy you could choose.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Love. If you're new on this channel, you're very much welcome. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit that subscribe button so you get notified each time I drop new content on my channel. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for tuning into today's video. So like you all know, I love dropping content on this channel 3 times in a week, and today is just one of them. So I am going to be sharing with you guys to my returning subscribers, thank you guys for tuning into today's video. Like you guys know, I love dropping informations about the healthcare system, vacancies, useful informations that can be helpful to you and to anyone that may find it available to use. So at the moment, the NHS Trust is offering some positions for radiologists, outpatients, and also for an healthcare assistant for a bank staffs. What do I mean by bank staffs? So for a layman language, a bank staff are those people who cover shifts for permanent staffs in an organizations like the healthcare system when their permanent staffs are not available, either they're on maternity leave, sick leave, or an immediate cover up for shift. They are just like the hard doc staffs, if you get what I mean. So a bank staffs are quite resourceful people that the NHS or the healthcare system require their services or their healthcare professionals to cover up shifts that needs to be covered. I want to browse out what an NHS bank staff is. I will define what a bank staff, an NHS bank staff is. An NHS bank staff, an entity managed by a trust or through a third-party organization who contract healthcare professionals to take on a temporary shift at a trust hospital. So if you're a bank staff, you're going to be covering some shifts either in a care home or in a hospital trust or the NHS trust. So a bank staffs are just like the agencies. So when a healthcare professional or an NHS scheme or an healthcare server does not have requirements or does not have readily available workers to take up on a shift, maybe their permanent staffs are not available at that time and they need someone to cover up the shift, they'll first of all contact the bank staff trust or contract the bank staff. So when the bank staffs are not available or there's no one to cover the shift before, they contact the agency. So the bank staffs come before the agency staffs, if that makes sense. So that's what this position about the bank staffs. The NHS trust at the moment is looking for healthcare assistants work as a bank staff for their NHS trust. The trust is the Mid CHESHIRE hospital. This position was pasted on the 1st of March 2022. The pay scheme is agenda for change. So if you're going to work, you're going to be working with them. So you have a mobile app on your phone, and each time you finish your shift, you have to go on that mobile app, put the time you started, the time you ended your shift, and the agenda of change, which will help your recruiter or the person who will be paying your salary to know what scheme you are under, so they know how much. If it's £10 for agenda for change, they will pay you. If it's £11 for that, they will pay you, if that makes sense. And it's for band 2. The salary is about £18,546 to £19,918 a year per rota per annum. It depends on how you work every month. So if you're working 30 hours shift in a week or 20-hour shifts in a week, so it just depends how they can pay you in a year or how much you'll be earning in a year. The working pattern is quite flexible and it's for a bank job. So I'm going to be reading the job summary to you. We are looking for experienced healthcare assistants and support worker to join the hospital bank. As a bank health assistant, you will need to cover vacant hard doc shifts throughout the hospital. So you would be working in many different areas and with different teams. So you might be working in different areas in the trust or in the hospital. Working on a bank can be very demanding for this reason, and it is preferable that you have experience in healthcare. So if you have experience in healthcare, it's quite an edge for you to take up on this position. In addition, working via the bank gives you the flexibility to get a real work-life balance and work when it suits you. So it's quite flexible for you to move around with. Healthcare assistant shift covers about 24 hours, 7 days in a week, and we include weekends. So some weekends you might be working either Saturdays or Sundays, and nights, so you might work nights and bank holidays as well. Shifts are normally 12 hours and are usually 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So it depends on the shift pattern you want to take up on. Main duties of this job. It's important to consider that some aspects of the healthcare work can be very distressing and unpleasant, but it can be an incredibly rewarding role for you. You'll be expected to help patients with personal care, such as washing, dressing. It's just more like a care home, but this you'll be working in the hospital. Yeah, and you'll be given a uniform. So it's quite different from a care home. Care home, some of them have uniform, but if you're working as a bank staff or as an agency for a care home, you might literally not have a uniform. You might just go with your agency shirts. But for a hospital, you wear like an NHS Trust full PPE uniform. So that is what they require, and you'll be doing more of washing and dressing without being embarrassed or feeling awkward. So if you're not the type that feel embarrassed, or you're just so open to doing any sort of jobs like this, then it's good for you to apply. You also need to be able to communicate and sympathetically to relatives and empathically to relatives and care for our patients who are very unwell. So they will have patients who are very poorly, so you will need to take care of them as well. Please note, you must be able to work a minimum of 2 shifts a week on the bank. So you can require to work more than 2 shifts in a week, unless you are a student nurse. So if you're a student nurse, you might not take up on 2 shifts as much as someone who is on full requirement to work full shift. Bank workers must complete role-specific training prior to booking shifts. All training must be completed within 4 weeks of receiving your conditional offer. So when you get offered this job, you will go into proper training. So most times, even if you have experience, because they feel that experience that you've done previously from your job might be different for what they will be offering you. Like when I did a mental health training, when I wanted to apply for another job, they told me they wanted to do another training for me. I have to do another training. So it's quite different with every trust or any organization you're working on. So who are the NHS Trust Foundation? Working with healthcare means you'll be making positive difference to lives of others. You may help to bring new lives into the world or save another life from ending. So either you are working in the maternity department or you're working in some departments that has to do with patients who are really struggling with life. They need you to survive, while some of you might be working with bringing lives to the world, if you know what that means. And also, even just knowing that you have helped to make a patient stay with us a little easier is priceless. You will be working for the NHS, the UK's largest employer, with the many benefits that it brings. Shift pattern enhancement for nights, weekends and bank shifts. A minimum of 27 days annual leave per year plus 8 days of bank. Pension scheme. NHS discount across various shops, restaurants and services. So as an NHS, you always have an edge, because we have discounts. At the time of pandemic, I think most of the NHS staffs were really having much privileges to buy things free, get free things from shops and all of that. So the NHS staffs have quite a huge edge in the UK to so many stores and shopping sites and all of that. Career opportunities such as our nurse degree apprenticeship. So in my previous video, I talked about NHS apprenticeship. That's just like the best opportunity for you to get into the NHS, working as an NHS apprenticeship. So if you are working or as in bank staffs, you're already in the NHS but you're not yet a full permanent staff, this might give you an edge to hear or see about opportunities that might be available while you're working on the job, and it might just be easy for you to take up on them. Sickness entitlement to support you when you're unwell and cannot attend work. So they'll give you sickness entitlement. If you're not well, either they are paying you sick leave and all of that, you know. Occupational maternity, adoption, and shared parental pay might be available as well. What is the job description and job responsibility? The job description: healthcare assistant, carry out wide range of care duties directly with the patients and their relatives as well as their carers. These duties are carried out after training, which we will provide for you. So after the training, you are now fully equipped to start up on the job and your role description under the direction of a professionally qualified practitioner, such as a nurse, and can include the following tasks. So when you start on the job, at first they would assign you to a set of team where it could be the healthcare professional, a nurse, a registered nurse, or someone who has been on that job for a very long time. So it's that person that will be guiding you, and when you have questions or you have anxiety or anything to ask about a particular role or task, you can ask that person. Maintaining dignity while helping patients to wash or shower, serving food, and if necessary, helping to feed patients. That will be your role as an healthcare assistant working in the hospital alongside with the NHS trust. Making and changing beds. So you'll be changing their bed. When they discharge a patient, you change their bed and their bed sheets, as well as a patient who has died. Yes, you have to change the bed sheet and tidy up the environment or the space of that patient. Or when a patient has used a certain bed sheet for a time, maybe 2 days or a day, you have to change it as well. Turning patients who are confined to bed to avoid pressure damage. So if there are some patients that they can't move by themselves, so they require your assistant to change their position. So if they've been sleeping with the left hand side of their body, at a time it could be 2 hours, because you have a timer watch tagged to your uniform. So you always check a time where you have to go change them from their right position to the left position, or if they require to sleep on their back, you will do that for them as well. Talking with patients to help them feel less lonely or anxious. So there are some patients that they are very anxious. They want to know what's happening around them. They want to know how well they have to get on with their life. So that's where you come in. You have to be talking to them, giving them hope to life and less lonely or feeling depressed. Helping patients with mobility problems, assisting patients to rehabilitate to their destination. So there's a time I was in the hospital. I think I had given birth, and I had epidural. I was leaving labor room to the maternity ward, so they called someone to come and put me on the bed. So they had to wheel the bed to the maternity ward. So that's what your position would also require, your job description. So when they discharge a patient and the patient wants to go home, the patient cannot walk, you carry the patient, like you will wheel the patient. Sometimes the wards are quite far. I mean, very far. It takes longer time to get the lift, so you have to wheel them to the lift. If they are going on their bed, you have to wheel them to their bed. I think there was a time when I got discharged from the hospital, I wanted to go with my baby. I wasn't able to walk properly because my legs were all like swollen. I mean, I had epidural, so that place was a bit numb. It took me 2 days to feel my leg, so I couldn't walk. They told me, okay, they're going to wheel me to the car where I'll be taking off from to go home. So while my husband had the baby in the car seat. So that's what your job description might do. So when a patient needs to move around, they need to smoke or vape, or they need to take fresh air, you can move them around the ward or around the hospital. So that's what your job description and your role is. Giving out and collecting bedpans, assisting with the toileting needs of our patients. So it's quite a lot, to be honest. As in reading itself, I just feel like it's quite a very huge tax for you. You have to be very, very equipped. You have to have that strength. I mean, it's so much for you. You have to have that strength, mobility. You have to have that spirit of you keep going, because it has to be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift, or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts. It's just like we were working as a nurse in the hospital. That's what this job entails. So you have to be doing bedpans, assisting with toileting. There's some residents or patients that can't go to the toilet themselves. You have to take them to the toilet, stay with them in the toilet, let them use the toilet. They could have accessible toilets, so it's easy for them to hold the reel while they use the toilet, stuff like that. The person specification for this role, I mean the experience they need for the role, is essential. Previous professional healthcare experience. It could be a care home or support home, whatever. So they want to have an experience of what it is you've done before. Previous care experience, it could be family or friends. If you're taking care of your family, your parents, your friends, they require your experience in this job. Desirable, previous NHS experience. So the one they desired, the person they desire is someone who has worked with the NHS. They want to know, sometimes it's very tiring putting someone new into a new process. So they want to know that you have done this thing before and you know what it entails, what they have to do, instead of going through maximal explanation or trainings for a new recruit. The values that are essential for this job is you have to demonstrate your friendly and caring personality. They want to know that you are friendly no matter how tedious the job is going to be, no matter how difficult you're going to meet some patients. They want to know that you are still friendly with them and you have that caring personality to take up on. And you see a patient trying to struggle to lift off on their bed and you're just passing instead of, "Oh, let me help you." They want that kind of person for the job. You have to demonstrate the ability to work as part of a team, demonstrate ability to work shifts. So you are able to take up on a shift when they don't have anyone that is available to take up on that shift, as well as working with team. You are good at teamwork. They say teamwork makes dream work. So they want to see people who have that energetic attitude to working with so many people alongside the job. It's essential. What is essential on this job is willingness to achieve a care certificate. So if you are interested in achieving a care certificate, they are willing to offer you a care certificate. That's if you want it. Disclosure and barring service check. So what does this mean? They want to check if you have any criminal records in the UK or where you've come from, so they want to know if it's good to take up on the job, because they want to know who they are dealing with, who they are giving their services to, their patients, if you're eligible for it. So this post is subject to the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act Exception Orders 1975, and as such it will be necessary for a submission for disclosure to be made to the Disclosure and Barring Service, formerly known as CRB, to check for any previous criminal conviction. They want to know that you've not been involved in any crime, fraud, whatever. So the good part is that they're also offering certificate of sponsorship. So do well to check them. I'll be dropping the link of this particular job description or this vacancy in my description box. So do well to check them out. Application from job seekers who require current skilled worker sponsorship to work in the UK are welcome and will be considered. So if you get this job, just let them know that you are interested in, you want to go into the tier 2 visa. If they can sponsor your visa, they are much likely to, they offer you the position and offer you certificate of sponsorship. Please, this job is not for people overseas, for people who are in the UK and want to move into a tier 2 visa certificate. Employer's details. The employer's name is the Mild CHESHIRE Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. So I'll be dropping details about them in my description box, so do well to check them out, as well as details that you need for this information. So the link will take you to their website and the vacancy for this job. Please, if you find this information very useful, please give it a thumbs up, share this video. It might be helpful to someone who is likely to work with the NHS Trust on a certificate of sponsorship or a sponsorship visa. If you have also watched this video to this end, thank you very much. And if you're here to subscribe to my channel, please do well to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I drop new content on my channel. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Till I see you next time. Bye.